So basically what happened was Miguel met me at probably like a really challenging time in my life. I'd had previous issues happen within my personal life. I was just an angry child and I wasn't a good kid in school at that time, but I had a passion for dance and I was hopping around different dance schools so never felt like I belonged to anywhere. And then I was actually doing the Duke of Edinburgh in school, and as a thing, as aside from that, you have to teach in you have to do like an extracurricular thing. Now there was no dance classes in my school at the time. Performing arts wasn't really a thing. You'd done drama and that was it. So I started leading dance classes. Anyway, I sacked the Duke of Edinburgh off and just carried on doing the dance classes. So I was in year 9 teaching a load of year 7s, and then I did an RE day we called it Red Day at that point, with MD Productions. And I remember we did a piece called They Don't Care About Us, and I remember dancing that piece. And aside from just dancing that piece, we also done a number of different workshops as well. We got like t-shirts out and we was able to write like our thoughts and feelings all over this t-shirt, and we was able to make posters about things that we were passionate about in the community. It was just something that really spoke to me. Anyway, we had that day and Miguel was just, MD Productions was just a thought in my head of a place that I may potentially want to go in the future. And then one day I was teaching. It was after school, so I got busy at that point. And I had to do 1 year at lunchtime, 1 year after school. And you must have been in for whatever you work quite closely with the school, and he popped his head in and I knew, as soon as he came in, I was like, good, I'm on this and we all laugh at anyone who's come from anywhere else, because you've had a lot of people that have gone to solely MD and nowhere else, but those of us who have gone like anywhere else and come here, he does this thing where he says, where do you dance? And he done that to me, and I was like, I used to dance in Deborah Lister Academy, which is round the corner, and I loved it there. It taught me all of my basic techniques, and I'd stayed there for probably the longest to what I'd stayed there previously. I've been to other dance schools around St Helens. I've been to Elizabeth Hill, I've been to Silhouette, I've been to Lipper, which was I went to the one that was based in Rain Hill High School. So I've been to a lot around here, but anyway, when Miguel said that, I was over there, and he's like, okay. And then before I knew it, there was dance classes going on an evening. You put some dance classes on in the big auditorium, so I was like, I'm going there. And I went, and I was going there for a couple of months. And then you invited me up to...
Was that at this site, Jess?
Yeah, so that was in Rainford.
Okay. Right.
In school.
In the school.
We went here.
Yeah, so in Rainford, he invited me up. From Rainford, he invited me up to Liverpool. He was like, come and do a few classes in Liverpool, and I was like really nervous because previously we'd done a bit in Rainford High, but I'd never really met anybody from MD. I'd met people like Zoe, Tiff, and I think Jamie had started coming at that point. So me and my friend Kofi went up to Liverpool, and I just got in the class and just started dancing, and you gave me a few one-to-ones with a few other dancers, and I just felt so welcomed. Like, there's been many places, especially in this industry, you go to a school and you kind of go a bit like really nervous, like you don't feel as much like you fit in because it's always everybody competing to be the best. Whereas when I went to there, it was like a big family. Everyone was like for each other and supporting each other. Anyway, I still didn't know what my cards were, where I wanted to go. At this point, I wanted to go to Elliot Clark, which was still going on in Liverpool. Anyway, the beauty of it was I was continuing to go to MD and doing loads of commercial shows up in Liverpool, so I was travelling every day after school up to Liverpool. I'd finish school, walk to the train station in Rainford, which was like half an hour walk, but a power walk, so I made it 20 minutes. So we could get on the train in time, and I get the train up there and be in time for class. And then Miguel mentioned to me that he was doing a BTEC course in performing arts. So I was like, I really want to do it. Anyway, I was on an RN, and I decided to go to MD, but the beauty within that was, as I say, I was such a challenged kid. I was venting so much emotion out in anger, but because I knew if I didn't get my grades in school, if I didn't get my head down, where is this next step gonna be? And even though Miguel accepts anyone, he tries to make anything work, I just thought I've got to be my absolute best right now, and it made me really focus on life and go, no, you need to get your head in the game now, otherwise you're just going to keep on going on this cycle. So I became a really good student after that, actually, and I came out with really good grades, and then went to MD. So I was travelling every morning. I walked, as I lived in Eccleston, I walked half an hour to the bus stop at the top of Dunriding Lane, and then got on a 2-hour journey because it was the cheapest way of getting there. I used to scramble so much, change and pennies together to get there. 2 hours up to Liverpool, do my full day in college, and then go to dance classes on in the evening. So I was dancing all day and then dancing in the evening until 10 o'clock. We're quite soft now and we do till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at the latest, but I was dancing till 10 o'clock and then getting the bus back. Or my dad would come and pick me up, but that was a bit sometimes not, because I was still being an angry child, even though I'd really turned my life around, I was still angry. But within the college time, Miguel taught me not just, I always say this, not just how to dance. That's why I loved coming to MT so much, and I'm so passionate about it, because it was also life skills as well along the way. And then as a business, we moved down to St Helens, and I was still with Miguel at that time. I graduated from the BTEC. I was doing classes in here, and there was no floor. There was no paint on the walls. There was a mirror on this wall here with a weight holding it up. And there was we had a little heater like this, and I was just there's a video actually of me singing in this room. Just doing a singing class, a musical theatre class, and then I was doing my work from the bottom room, wasn't I? I was doing my paperwork and things like that, and then when I graduated, it was a blessing. I was the first graduate from MD Creatives on the BTEC course. I then took a gap year out after that because, again, my dad calls me the rebellious child. I didn't know if I wanted to go to uni or not, but I got a bit of more experience in life, basically. I'd done a number of things with Miguel already that gave me so much knowledge in what this industry does. I'd been to Abu Dhabi twice doing the Grand Prix with them. I'd done so many gigs, shows all around the country, and got so many opportunities. But I needed to learn a bit about what myself was as well, so then started doing gigs with other people, and then working freelance for Miguel when and where he needed me, and carrying on training here, didn't I, on the evenings. And then we were planning to do, when you rebranded everywhere, we was planning to do a campaign and different bits like that, and then COVID really drastically hit. So then we were dancing on Zoom, and I was being a cleaner in the Sainsbury's warehouse in Haydock, which was great for the time being. And then one day Miguel messaged me and was like, Jess, will you just come in for a chat? I just want to speak to you about a job. And he offered me this job, and I was like the heavens had opened. I was like, this is amazing. Because I'd still decided to not go to uni, and COVID gave us all a bit of we don't know where our next step is, what we're going to be, especially what I wanted to do in the time and life I was in, you needed to be training. But then I took the job anyway and started working with you as a creative assistant, and the fact was, when we moved here, because I've been travelling up to Liverpool all the time, even though I lived here from a young age, from 3, I didn't know half of the stuff that St Helens does, the support services, the history and the heritage. Like, I'm now like a biggie for the history and heritage of St Helens. I'm like, Miguel, have you seen this? Look at these old pictures, like, all the time, because I'm so interested, invested. And one of my units for my BTEC, I had to create my own performance, and I created a whole performance with everyone from MD for the 10-year celebration of the Dream. So that was something that was in my hometown, and it was incredible. Like, it was fun, but it was like real life experience at the same time, and everything that I'd learned from my time here, I felt I could pass on to everybody else that would be coming here. So we've just been working hand in hand from that point to here. Like, the business has developed so much when all of this has come on the walls, like all of the spray paint branding all around the building. We didn't have anything on the windows, and now we've got all sorts of stuff, and we're working a lot of hand in hand with many services around St Helens, and that's so important for me to be from here and to be able to give back to the community in a way where it's different from what the other support services do. That's why I travelled up to Liverpool this whole time, because I was like, there's nothing else that's gave me what you've gave me, and for it to be here now, like, it's such a blessing. I'm telling everyone, I'm like, do you know these classes are for free? Like, they're for free, come down. So it's just been a whirlwind from there. And but yeah, that's where.
How old are you now, Jess?
I'm 21 now.
21 now.
Yeah. So from like 15 to 21, yeah.
Changing opportunities they are for me. You know, when we arrived at the F1, and you see, you know, your organisation's name with Rihanna, Lana Ritchie, Calvin Harris, it's like, wow. But we take that and bring it back to the roots of the community, to the people who we work with on our grassroots project, Blank Canvas, and say, it's not, oh, aren't we amazing? It's like, look what we've done. You know, you can achieve this too.
So, in terms of St Helens, what do you think are the key components of and areas of development in the respect of people being involved within creative industries?
So the first thing I found was a rawness that I'd not seen in years. When I arrived in St Helens, it reminded me of when we first started, and everyone was grateful to do anything. You know, it would, like, we'd rock up at any show, whether it was 2 minutes, a community performance, and them values are so important, regardless of, you know, if we go and do F1 or we do Britain's Got Talent. All of those things we've got to be grateful for all the time, and coming here and working with the young people and adults, I found that, and it was really inspiring that people were like so excited and grateful. Like, we were dancing outside the town hall, and everyone was just made up to be outside and in a space. So in terms of the development, it's finding them pockets of community and creativity, because it's there, it's knitting it together, and I feel like we've most definitely been able to do that. We've been extremely welcomed into the town by a number of different organisations, people, businesses, schools, colleges, and I feel like we've been able to knit a lot of that together and bring out that creativity that was happening here anyway. It was just in small pockets that, you know, very in silo, and people didn't really know what was going on and weren't really shouting about it, whereas we were quite confident with the platform and putting it out there. And it's like when we came and helped create St Helens First Pride, you know, we were like, let's do it all guns blazing, you know, and make this happen. And that's something we do as an organisation. And I think we've been able to have like a bird's eye view of, you know, now I say this is my home, this is, you know, where I'm from and where I live. But I think when it came from the outside, I was able to look at things differently, where a lot of people, when we started working with them, like, oh, the town's dead, or this is that. And I'm like, no, I see this as new and exciting, because I've seen the transition that Liverpool had made over years, and creativity and community does that. So I was excited, and then going into the schools, we done a project with St Helens Chamber with the primary schools called The Primary Colours Paints the Blank Canvas, and we worked with a huge amount of year 6, and the end project was they were coming to speak and present at the town hall, and for each one of them to get up on that stage in such a huge venue, which they'd seen as a barrier prior to this programme, to get up and speak, it was always there. Someone just needed to ignite it, very much like how I went into the job centre and Jill done that with me, how I went and found Jess. It was already there. Someone just needed to give that belief and hold a safe space. But there is all kinds here, like literally, like we look around our Monday sessions and there is all walks of life. Like there is such a diverse community here. Like when you look from the outside or you read the literature around St Helens, it doesn't or hadn't portrayed that, but it most definitely is.
Yeah.
There's so many different walks of life.
As well, like being from St Helens, I know because I have relatives, I know people, like how not judgmental but how uneducated the community was on these diverse groups. And because we were so confident and we hold a place of no judgment, like that's what we value ourselves on so much, that people can come in and be who they want to be. We had so many people coming in and being who they want to be because they didn't feel like they could be that anywhere else. But what we wanted to make so important was, here is not the only place that you can be what you want to be. You can be what you want to be everywhere. We just gave them that platform, and as Miguel's saying, igniting it. Like when we done Pride, like a lot, we were worried about it, but we were like, well, it is what it is. Let's just do it. And there was so many, the community that came together. Like we done a big Pride walk around the
town hall.
Yeah, from the town hall all the way to the World of Glass, wasn't it? And the crowd was huge. Like
it was laughing down as well.
Yeah,
no,
and we got a big picture outside the town hall, and we all had loads of colour on us, balloons. I had balloons on my back, and we were singing and different bits like that. And I think the fact that we were just like, just let it happen, just let it out. Like we've had so many people that come to us and are now so much more confident because I don't think anyone ever told them that it was okay to be whoever you are everywhere. And because we've come from Liverpool and the community's grown so much and everybody is who they are everywhere, obviously you have other issues, but I felt like being from St Helens as well, like it was such an issue within the community. But now, like, we have 2 of our creatives, which they won't mind me saying, they ventured into the art of drag, and we've been creating a show at the moment in the academy, and they're doing a drag act in it, and I was like, you can go on a break, and they kind of looked at each other because they were in like the hair, the makeup, the dress and all sorts, like they were in the full shebang, heels, everything. They kind of looked at each other and went, let's go to the shop. And they just walked the shop, and whilst they're out, it's like when you let your children out into the world, they came back with beaming smiles on their faces because people had given them compliments and told them that they looked fabulous, and it just, even though they know they're fabulous, like they fully know they're fabulous, like it made them feel just so much better. And another time we were walking over to Catalyst Studios that's up there by the Theatre Royal, and we were just having a look around at different places we could use around St Helens, and one of them they didn't have drag on, but they walked around in the heels because they'd been rehearsing, and someone said something to them that it was something along the words of, oh, you know, you're in St Helens, something like that, but they just kept on walking past because it doesn't bother them. Well, it really bothers me. And I couldn't keep it in. And I just looked up and I said, like, keep your opinions to yourself. And obviously I was working, so I had to be much more polite than I would have liked to have been. And I used to be an angry child, as I say. But because of what Miguel's taught me, every time I can go on my rants and Miguel goes, keep it positive, all for love. And I just have to remember that every time. And that the creative had heard me say what I'd said when I said, like, keep your opinions to yourself, and they said, like, I really appreciated that, like, it's not something that bothers me, but for you to stick up for me in that way, I really appreciate it. So being that support as well as a guidance in what they want to do with their career makes a massive difference in this community and the different art forms that we have in it.